the parameters of that. What I challenge everybody to do is do what makes sense for your program, do what makes sense for your stipulations that you have in your associations or whatever, whether it's high school, college, whatever level you're coaching at. Do something that is within the confines of what you can do. So fortunately for us at Queens College in the Division II level, we are allowed to start conditioning 4 days after the first day of classes, which is usually for us is like the last week of August. And then October 15th is our first day of practice. So it actually gives us a full 6 weeks of preseason, which is great. The downside to that is though, after the season is over, we're allowed to work with them. But once we get to a week before finals, in May, we're not allowed to do anything with them over the whole summer. All right, Division I is different. They can work their guys out over the summer so that what type of shape they come back in when it's time to practice is different. All right, so as much as I want to tell my guys, oh, dude, get in shape, I know that their shape is different from my shape. Their shape is for the beach, right? So I don't fight them on it. I just let them know, look, be in some type of shape, and the guys that have come back, they know what it is, so you can either get yourself ready for this, or you can talk to Dr. Earl during preseason. It's on you, but that's what it is. So we use the 6 weeks to really push the guys to get in shape, but at the same time, because of the limits that we have with time, I try to incorporate other things into it to speed up the learning process for the new guys, as well as a review for the guys that have been there. All right, so again, for whatever level you're at, just use this as and the big thing about clinics that I think is you can write down everything that every person, every presenter says, but you shouldn't just try to copy that and do that on. So just like the people that, if you went, so we had a majority of people that liked the Jim Calhoun's theory on playing pickup, right? Not too many people agree with Patino. So, but both pieces of information are valuable because now you can make a decision on, okay, I heard both, and then this is what I decided that I'm doing. So everything that I say like today, you may not agree with and say, no, that's garbage. I don't agree with that. That's okay. Or you may say, okay, I like this piece of it, but I would do it differently. Fantastic. That's what this is about. All right? So, under the parameters of what we do, because of a bunch of different factors, we dove for a college basketball game on our level, all college basketball, 20 minutes, 40 minutes, 20-minute halves, 30-second shot clock, and we use media timeouts. So that's how I shape our conditioning. So technically we put 24 minutes on the clock when we start. So the guys are stretched, we put 24 minutes on the clock. We'll do sprints, we do lane slides, we do backboard touches, we do a piece of our offense, okay? And so the basic structure is 20 minutes of activity, which simulates a half, with a minute break every 4 minutes, which simulates the TV timeouts. And we put 30 seconds on the clock because that's our shot clock. So it works out mathematically to do it that way, all right? So, we got five. Ooh. This guy, one of my former players, Elijah Bovell. So I'm actually shocked to see him here. Did you know what we were doing for you guys? Okay, so he got roped into a march. All right, all right. So I like to incorporate a lot of the little things that we do. So let's do this. You got 6. All right. We're going to run first. All right. So say if we start off with doing a sprint first. So the sprint is don't run yet. All right. Sprint is baseline. So baseline, full speed, obviously. And then once you get to the opposite baseline, you're sprinting the half court, and then it's a back pedal. All right? So they sprint full court to the baseline, sprint to half court, back pedal to half. Then they do the same, so they do that twice, but they have to make both of them in 30 seconds. 30 seconds or less. If they finish in 25 seconds, okay, then they have a little 5 seconds of rest. But they have to finish the 2 sprints in 30 seconds or less. Why do we sprint the floor, going full court, simulated offense, we simulate defense on the way back. That's why we do the back pedal at half court. Now, incorporating things into our transition. So, Eli lets you play wing. So Eli knows this, right? So all the wings run where, Eli? You remember? In the corner. All right, so switch spots. Switch spots. All right, so in our transition spots, 2s and 3s are in the corners, running the wings for corner 3s. 5s, rim run, down the middle. 1s and 4s are on the lane lines, because the 4s are taking the ball out outside the paint. Point guards are trying to get the ball not on the sideline, not in the middle of the floor, because there's too much traffic in the lane line. So when they line up to run the sprints, they run in their transition spots every single time to get them mentally and physically comfortable with, I know, okay, it's a change of possession, I know where I'm supposed to be on the floor, and they, over time, instinctually get there. So that's one way that we build what we do basketball-wise into our transition. So we'll just make it easy. I'm just going to go by the top. I know you're on the wing, you're going to get 5 seconds, all right? So you'll be in the middle, you can run the wing, okay? You're a point guard? Sure, all right? So you're on the lane line. We'll get another point guard on the lane line, and you'll be my 4-man. You can pick either lane line, all right? So you can scooch over a little, just a little bit, all right? So I'll make you sprint, all right? And you can run it, all right? So full court, get to half. Get to the baseline, sprint to half, and then back pedal to finish, all right? So go ahead, all right, here we go. On both. Alright, turning and looking for the ball. Now, with that sprint, same thing, we incorporate our fundamentals. I'm big on winning the first 3 steps on both ends of the floor. So I get on the guys about, when you take off that line, it's the first 3 steps. You're busting out, getting up the floor as fast as you can. Same thing when you get to the baseline, working on your turns. If you're running in a circle, it takes too long. So we build in, okay, when you get to this line, turn your body and your feet this way, and now you push off the first 3 steps to get up the floor, offensively and defensively. Alright? So that would be the first 30 seconds. Alright? Now, we mix it up and be random. Let's say we want to do, so we'll go 30 seconds sprint. Alright? So they run 2 of those. Now they get back. Now our Coach Caesar in the back over there, he's the randomizer, he's the selector, he's the DJ. He picks out what we're going to do next. So they ran the sprint. Young one out, Caesar. Closeouts. So now we'll do a drill we call dragon closeouts. So we got 6, right? So let's get a line behind me. Line behind me. This is the drill we do. We call dragon closeouts. We get 5 closeouts, but in 30 seconds. So everybody has to finish. So they'll start in the paint under the basket. They go corner, wing, top of the key, wing, corner. Working on their closeouts. Now again, emphasizing what we teach, fundamentals. So from the closeout, first 3 steps, sprint out, 2-hand closeouts, butt down. Now, I teach in our closeouts, no choppy steps. Choppy steps. I understand the rationale for choppy steps, but I believe everybody knows 3s is how you lose games. 3s is how you lose games. Made 3s is how you lose games. So our defensive philosophy, no 3s. We do not let people shoot 3s. Last year, we were the 2nd best defensive team in our conference, and one of the reasons why we were low in points given up is because it wasn't even close. We do not allow 3s to get off. We were way down, or up I should say, in 3s attempted by other teams because we run them off the 3-point line. No 3s. So when we're doing this, we emphasize that. So for us, it's a gray line. Get outside the gray. So we don't let them close out to here. They have to get all the way outside the 3. Then they work on a quick lunge, and then they got to backpedal back into the paint. have to move at a pace that everybody finishes all 5 closeouts in the 30 seconds. Yup, as soon as he goes to that first closeout, and then he moves over, then you go. So he's going to go corner, wing, top of the key, wing, corner. No. Back pedal back, and then get to the wing. Alright, here we go. Yup, now you go. No chop, no chop, no chop. Run them off, run them off. Run them off. This ain't snap. Run them off. Put them around, put them on, you can give them a ball. Now again, for us, we're not supposed to use a ball during our conditioning, okay? NCAA rules, if you're using a ball during a conditioning session, it's technically not conditioning anymore. It turns into basketball. So all these drills that we do, no ball. Now, if you don't have that rule, you can change it and do something different. All right, but for us, we have to do this no ball. All right, so the 30 seconds, the horn, so use the shot clock. 30 seconds goes off. They finish the closeouts. Another sprint, same thing. All right, they finish the sprint. C's, give me another one.
Backboard touches.
Backboard touches. All right, so now we get to the backboard. This is again rebounding, very important in our program. Led our conference in rebounding this year. We were actually 19th overall in the country. In total rebounds, we were 7th in defensive rebounds, 4th in offensive rebounds. Rebound is very important in our program. So we do 30 seconds of backboard touches. So everybody just get around the backboard, find a spot. Get to a spot on the backboard. Just pick a spot. You're going to be close together. You're going to be close. All right, so get to the backboard. All right, give me backboard touches. All right, what's that? Great question. I was going to wait to see what they did before I explain. We do not allow our players to go after any rebound with one hand. Every rebound is 2 hands. On our level, if you go after the ball with one hand, either it's going to get slapped out your hand or you're going to get pushed off bounds because you're leaning for the ball this way. Everything has to be with 2 hands. And when shots go up, if you want, guys, I don't believe in a whole lot of extra running, but what we will run for on a box out, if somebody boxes out like this. Can't play free if you box out like this. You have to be able to squat and box out with your hands above your shoulders, because what happens is, well, on our level, if you get run the ball, run the basket here, and the ball comes off here, ball comes off here, your hands are like this, the ball's going over your head. You're not getting that rebound. Also, if you're under the basket like this, and the ball goes over your head and somebody's behind you, right? If they reach over you and your hands are down, you're not getting up over the backboard. Doesn't matter what they can punch you in the back of the head, not getting up over the backboard. So we enforce, when we're doing backboard touches, for the whole 30 seconds, your hands have to be above your shoulders. For the whole 30 seconds. Not this, not this. You have to stay up for the whole 30 seconds. Alright? Got that? Alright, 30 seconds. Alright, 15 seconds. Backboard touches, arms up all the time. Alright, here we go. 15. You got to get down in the stance. Obviously, this isn't, you know, anything, you know, revolutionary. I'm saying we do lane slides, touching outside the lane. Everybody does it, right? Butt down, knees bent, active hands, active feet. Can't get to the line here and then do this. All right? Got to be push off, get that line, keep pushing. 30 seconds. Do the 30 seconds, sprint. All right, so now we're up to, that should be 3 minutes, right? Because we did a 30-second sprint, then we did closeouts, so now that's a minute. We did 30-second sprint, then we did backboard touches, 30-second sprint, and then we did lane slides. All right? Last minute. Before, honestly, a few years ago, I don't remember what I did. But a couple of years ago, and it's something that I really like, is I incorporated sprinting through our offense, 30 seconds, all right? So let's just keep a simple offense. Let's go just 4-round 1 dribble handoff, all right? So do me a favor, play 5, all right? So let me just get four people on the perimeter. All right, we'll just go with 4, all right? So now, this is, I'll explain what we do later, okay? But if we have, say, 10 guys that are working out, we'll split them up. So we'll have 5 guys down on this end, 5 guys down on this end, and then they'll do their backboard touches, their lane slides, their closeouts, whatever. We run offense, and then they just run opposite. All right, they all don't have to get on the line. If it's an uneven number, okay, and we don't have, so we have a lot of baskets, so we can actually, if we have like 15, we can actually use 3 courts and have 1 group on each court. But say you find yourself with a number like this, where there's 6. While we do offense, we would rotate guys in because we're going to do this 10 times. We would have the guy that's on the sideline do something cardio like burpees, push-ups, crunches, something like that. But let's just say we're going to do, we'll do just a dribble motion, all right? Rock. All right, so let's just say we're going to do a dribble motion, all right? So we'll just do dribble handoffs on the perimeter, all right? Something like this. If you run a motion offense, or you have a favorite play, or you have 10 plays, and you have them in already, you can do that, all right? So you can just say, all right, we're going to run fist 1, or what was Marlon's play? 4-side, all right? All right, so you can just call it out, 4-side, and now you're forcing your play. So usually what we do is, the offense is usually something that we save for last. So now they've been running for 3 minutes and 30 seconds most of the time, or constantly moving, and now they have to concentrate on what they're doing and execute what we're going to run. But again, for us, we can't use the ball, so we'll give them a cone, or we'll give them a towel, or something like that to simulate the ball where the ball is on the floor and move. So for us, we don't use the basketball because then it turns into a different thing. So this will be actually, let's switch that. Just to make it realistic to what we do. We get that going. Tommy had just told a story about 2 of your guys. I just told a story about 2 of your guys. Alright, y'all can fill them in. Actually, let me ask you, is that a true story? Is it true that Coach Patino doesn't want guys to play pickup over the summer? Is he still do that? That's true. And so the story I told was real quick to go back. So just so y'all know I'm not lying. I told the story that I went to the clinics 2 years in a row. First year was Coach Cal now, all right, so like I said, so we use the cone because we can't use the basketball. All right, so we'll just do 30 seconds of dribbling with the cone, motion offense on the perimeter, 5 minutes to chase the ball. All right, go ahead. Yep. Constant movement. Move. Block. Now move. All right, now communicate. All right. So now they're moving, and this is still cardio. So now they've been going for 4 minutes. All right. So we'll put it all together. So I'm gonna put them through it. All right. So I'll go back to revisiting what we do. So that whole thing takes 4 minutes. Then we give them the minute break, and then we do it again. All right, and we'll do 5 of those in a row. 4 minutes on, 1 minute off. 4 minutes on, 1 minute off. So forth until, and that simulates playing the whole first half for us, 20 minutes. All right, then we give the halftime of a college basketball game is 15 minutes. I'll give them a 15-minute break. I used to do 5 minutes. I'm a little nicer now at my old age. I give them 7.5. I split the halftime in half. All right, and then in the second half, we do the same thing. Now we have a couple of different motion offenses, so we'll keep going back and forth. So one segment it'll be flow, another segment will be swinging. We keep, but again, most of the time we do it towards the end of that segment to force them to, number one, communicate, organize themselves. Yo, especially when you have new guys and older guys have been there. Yo, get on the lane. Get on the lane line. No, that's not the lane line. This is the lane line. Get on the block. And force them to communicate and organize themselves while they're tired. All right? And communicate. All right? So, y'all got that? Y'all got it? All right. So, I have a stopwatch. All right? So, we're going to do 4 minutes. All right, Mark, we good on time? You are? We good on time? All right, so we're going to do 4 minutes. All right, y'all ready? Y'all stretch it out. Y'all good? Good? All right, baseline. And I'll follow it out. So there we go. Before we start, now I'm big on, if you have a question, ask now. Does everybody remember everything that we talked about, everything we did? Everybody knows what the lane slide is? Yes? Great question. You pick burpees, crunches, or push-ups.
Bro, wait.
Burpees? Alright. So we're alright, you already tell us somebody else. Close out first. What's that? Nice. You gotta listen. Alright? Yes, sir.
For the closeout drill, how many closeouts? How much is slides or back?
Maybe 2 slides. segments, 4-minute segments between TV timeouts, 20 minutes, and then we give them a minute, which is about the length of the TV timeout. So we put 24 minutes on the clock, do that, then we give them 7:30 for halftime, because that's part of it also, right? They have to get used to, okay, we've been going hard, now I gotta sit down, take a break, and then I gotta get back into action, right? So we simulate, we try to make it as realistic and with as much carryover as possible, all right? So that's the genesis of the idea. I think it works for us, and again, as you can see, it's not easy, all right? It's not easy, and again, so they just did one, so they get a minute break, and then they do another one, another 4 minutes, and a minute break. So they get 5 in the first half of those segments, 7:30 break, and then another 20 minutes of that. All right? So again, and I'm big on, if you see something today, I'll give you my email address. Again, don't feel free to use whatever I shared. If you don't agree with any of it, that's fine. If you agree with some of it and say, oh, coach, I would do it this way, or this is what would work for my, like that's what this is about to me. It's about making it your own and using what would benefit your team the best. Again, if you have set plays that you want your guys to put in and have them get reps at it while they're conditioning so they focus, do that. If you want them to do something else besides what I did lane slides, backboard touches, closeouts, because that's important to me. But if it's something else that's important to you, put it in. You can change the length. You can change the how long they do. So again, 30-second shot clock works for us. If you're in high school, you want to kill your guys in 35 seconds, go ahead. do it, you know, and you can move it around and switch things up or make it your own. Do whatever you, however you feel. How you guys feel? You guys all right? You guys all right? Yeah, stay right here, man. Here we go. Easy board. You guys got a little break. You want to jump in? All right, so give these guys a round of applause. I'm sorry, come on. We're going to do one more thing. We're going to do one more thing. So the last thing, and this is the first year I incorporated it because full disclosure, we were absolutely horrible shooting free throws last year. Absolutely horrible. So we do this for a minute and an hour and 20, well, it takes 54 minutes total to do this between the 24, and then the 7:30. All right, so I think that's about 53, 54 minutes. So we use that time for the conditioning. Then, as soon as the last segment is over, we start into a basketball thing, and then we do another 20 minutes where we put them at the foul line, make them shoot foul shots when they're tied. So we put 5 minutes on the clock. Say if we had 6 guys like this, let's just say it. Better have 6. But if we had 6 guys, we put 3 at this basket, 3 at this basket, they would shoot 2 and move. All right, and then we would put a competitive, we would maybe do that for 5 or 10 minutes, and then we would put a competitive free throw shooting drill. We use a couple. One of the ones we use is called 80%, where you add up, I'm not going to do the math now, because I'm not going to embarrass myself. But you put out how many guys you have, and if they shoot 2 free throws, how many free throws as a group they would have to make to shoot 80%. All right, and if you shoot over the 80%, that counts as a win. All right, so we went to another drill, a free throw drill that I like, we call 66-66. We put 66 for the home team on the scoreboard, 66 for the guest. We're home, other team is guest. Everybody shoots 2 free throws. If you shoot your first free throw and you make it, you get 1 point for home. You make your second, you get another point for home. If you miss the front end of the 1 and 1, it's -3, but not -3. 3 points goes to the guest. So say if you stepped up to 66, you missed the front end, now it's 66-69. And then that's it. You don't get to shoot another one. Next shooter goes. If the first shooter makes his first free throw, now it'll be 67-69, right? If he misses his second one, it's 2 points for the guest. So now it'll be 67-71. And we do that until, so everybody shoots a 1 and 1. That's all they get. The goal obviously is for home to have more than guests, and that's how you win. But I incorporated that this year because we were really bad at free throw shooting last year. So now I'm putting something else on it to put our guys in a position that force them to do something when they're tired besides the conditioning piece. So that's our preseason conditioning. That's what we do. Like I said, we do 6 weeks of it because we get to start early that last week of August, and that takes us all the way through to October 15th. And you know, I want to say, Eli, when you did it, do you feel like after the 6 weeks, do you feel like it puts you in a good position, conditioning-wise, ready to play? Alright, so you know, so I think it gets our guys ready to play, condition-wise, and I get to put some stuff in. So, but again, I'm sharing this, but it doesn't have to be a carbon copy if this is what you choose to do. You can mix things up, change things, don't do any of it. You guys want to run hills and put 3 hula hoops on guys and all that while they're running, fantastic. If you like it, I love it. Alright, but this is just what we do. Again, I want to thank Mark. And again, one more time, we're putting the players